23.5 million veterans living today who served our country in the armed forces. That's enough people. I want you to think about that. That's enough people to fill 350 New England Patriots Gillette stadiums. Do the math. That is an incredibly large number of people who have given for this country. Tomorrow, we will honor their service, sacrifice, and commitment to protecting our country and our freedoms as we hold so dear. Thank you, Mr. Day, Dr. Houston, faculty, guests, and students of Cardigan Mountain School. My name is John Stull. Today, I will discuss the history of Veterans Day, my time serving in the service, in the Army, 5 key attributes that I took away from my time in the service that I believe are applicable to your life here at Cardigan Mountain. And then lastly, my thoughts around service to our country. Veterans Day originated as Armistice Day on November 11th, 1919. It marked the first anniversary of the end of World War I. Armistice is defined as a truce between opposing forces. President Woodrow Wilson wanted to recognize that truce and those who had served during World War I by creating an annual holiday. Our government officially created Veterans Day on November 11th, 1938. And again, it was designed to recognize those who served during peace and at times of war. For distinction, I'd like to take a second and compare and contrast Veterans Day with another holiday we celebrate, Memorial Day. Memorial Day honors service members who gave their lives in the line of duty. This is not a holiday about thanking veterans. Rather, it's a holiday about taking time to honor and remember those who gave their lives for our country. You know, growing up, I expected I was going to end up in the service. Every single male in my family served at some point. My grandfather spent 42 years in the Army. He lied about his age. He was 16 years old when he enlisted. So it goes on and on. I anticipated that I would spend that time in the service. So I enlisted when I was 17. I completed my basic training and went straight to airborne school, where I learned to jump out of airplanes. In August of 1990, I deployed with the 82nd Airborne Division to Iraq to help protect the people of Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and Iraq from attacks by the Iraqi army. Upon my return from Iraq, I accepted a presidential nomination to the United States Military Academy at West Point, where I received a tremendous education and had the honor of playing 4 years of Army football. Excuse me. I graduated West Point, completed my infantry officer basic training, and graduated from Ranger School. I then went on to serve in the 101st Airborne Division and had the honor of leading some of the finest infantrymen and scout snipers in the Army. My last mission in the Army was to deploy my entire unit to Haiti and Kuwait for humanitarian missions. So people often ask me, what did I take from my time in the military? And how has that contributed to my success in the civilian sector? The following 5 attributes continue to drive my success, and I believe parallel nicely with what you do here at Cardigan Mountain School. The first attribute is teamwork. One of the most attributes I ever learned in the military was teamwork. Life is a team sport. Recognize that now, and you'll be successful in all endeavors of life. Oftentimes in the Army, we would go months without talking to our families. We'd be on missions. We heard about Max's grandfather who was on a ship 3 months at a time. When I was in Iraq, we spent the entire year, I talked to my family one time in that year. I literally had 6 days from when the Iraqi army invaded Kuwait. I had 6 days. I never talked to anybody. My family had no idea where I was. Bang, I'm sitting on the border of Iraq. So you have to rely very heavily on those beside you. Because the soldiers you go with are your family. We spent a year deployed, and like I said, I rarely talked to anybody. It was just the people I was with. Here at Cardigan, many of you are away from your families for the first time. And the weather's turning bad, right? It's going to be cold. It's going to be rainy soon. It's going to be dreary. You've got studies that never end. You're constantly working. You have to lean on each other. You have to work with the person beside you and your professors, your teachers. Look to the student beside you for help when you need it. Remember, you are all going to go through challenges. You're going through the same challenges. Help the other fellow out. The second is perseverance. Never give up. No matter how challenging the situation. Quitting, giving up, not leaving it all on the field fails you and those around you. When you think you can't give any more, you can. For me, it was Ranger School, the premier Army leadership course. For 3 months, we ate 1 meal a day. We slept max 2 hours a night. We worked 20 hours a day. We were running missions nonstop. It was single-handedly the most challenging course I've ever been in, both mentally and physically. When I went through the course, only 17% of the Rangers graduated on the first try. It's a hard course. Every day you had to make a decision to fight, to stay in the course, and to persevere. At Cardigan, there will be days where you feel you can't give another ounce of energy. You can. Preparation. Your level of success relies heavily on your ability to prepare. Practice like you play. You never know when your number gets called. I had the opportunity in Iraq to work with an insurgent group, a group of Iraqi men who didn't like being pushed around by their government. They needed to blow up a bridge that was crossing the Euphrates. I was selected out of hundreds of soldiers to teach them how to do that, how to run that mission. I was chosen because of the level of preparation and training that I had endured for so many years. I had studied, prepared relentlessly for this one opportunity. Again, the mission was to teach them how to blow the bridge, but in the end, it was math, geometry, physics, engineering, all rolled up into one complex mission, one task. For me, single most rewarding opportunity in Iraq I ever had. At Cardigan, take the time, take the energy, commit yourself to learning these courses that you're currently taking. You never know when you'll need them in life. Fourth, discipline. I learned very quickly, be in the right place at the right time with the right level of preparation. Anything other than that lets you down and those around you down. During my time at West Point, we averaged 7 courses a semester. When you do the math, that's 20 plus credits a semester in college. You're constantly studying 6 days a week. Sound familiar? It's familiar, right? The parallels are incredible. It felt like you could never catch up. It felt like you were always fighting an uphill battle. But being prepared took a high level of discipline. At West Point, you would walk into your class and your professor would say, take boards. And that meant you stood up, turned around, and grabbed the chalkboard that was right behind you. And you put the night before's homework on the board with your solutions, and you presented it to everybody in the room. It only took one time to be ill-prepared for that to happen, because you're in front of everybody, ill-prepared, you haven't done your homework, and guess what? It's the most embarrassing opportunity you'll ever face in your life. And so I challenge you all to think about that. Preparation, discipline, all of these things that we talked about, you're going through in your life here. Commit to taking advantage of the environment here. Life requires discipline. Don't cut corners. Instill a high level of discipline in your lives now. I promise you, your entire life will be about discipline. Lastly, pride of place. Country, community, family, friends. yourself. During my time in Iraq, I had the opportunity to work closely with the people of Iraq. Most prideful moment of my life, knowing that we were protecting them and helping them. At Cardigan, pride is what you do when nobody's looking. Take time to be prepared. Be on time. Have your homework done. Make it neat. Be early to class. Be early to practice. Be prepared. Have your uniform. It comes down to pride. Take great pride in all that you do and in this great institution. In closing, you have a tremendous opportunity here at Cardigan Mountain School. Don't take it for granted. Don't waste the opportunity. Life is a team sport. Figure that out early and learn to help the other fellow. People make sacrifices every day for the betterment of our society. Who will you be? What will you do? What difference will you make? Lift while you climb. Service to our nation comes in many forms. Choose one and be great at it. Professor, teacher, coach, policeman, fireman, politician, service in the military. Choose one, be great at it. I will always cherish my time in the military, service to our great country. I will forever be grateful for those who have served before me and after me. Thanks, Dr. Houston, as well, and for others in the room. Amor patriae, love of one's country. Thank you. Great, thank you, thank you.